Now, at some point, one of my students always asks me this question. What are those letters above the notes? And of course, they're talking about chords. The next follow-up questions tend to be, how do you play them? Why do they exist? What's the point? And so I thought I'd probably answer them for you guys in these videos. So let's get to it. So we're going to keep it simple today, but to answer the fundamental question of why they exist, it's so that you can embellish on the piano, you can add additional notes to the melody, you can start to fill things up, even if the notes aren't specifically there to do so. Or, if you're in a band, you could say get the guitarist to do some of the chords or the bassist to do the root notes of the chords that exist along the top. And yes, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, yes, I could probably make things sound fuller with it. I could maybe get a guitarist to do something, but I don't actually know what the chords mean. What is a DM? What is an F? What is a C? And how am I meant to find multiple notes from just one letter or two? Well, let me show you how. Right, so here's the piece that I showed you earlier, and I'll put a link in the description so you can get hold of it yourself. If we look at the first bar, it says DM. Second bar, F. Third bar, C. And fourth bar being a G. These are all the chords. We've got a chord change every bar, and throughout that first page, we've got that repetition of those same four chords. Now, how do we work them out? We start off by working out a scale. Let's imagine we've got the C chord to work out. In fact, I think we did have the C chord to work out. We did. That's convenient. Let's write it here. That is our root note, and I'm going to label that R. Next, we've got to work out all the other notes in the major scale, and we do that by using tones and semitones. The pattern goes as follows. Tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. And we should end up back at our root, which is just about up here. So C, upper tone, is a D. And a tone is just two semitones, and a semitone is just the next immediate note you need to play. So C to C sharp is a semitone, C sharp to D is a semitone, therefore C to D is a full tone. Two semitones added together. So that's D there, D to E is the next tone, E to F is the semitone, F to G, A, B, C. And that's our root as well. So that's our scale worked out because we know this formula. Get that memorized. Now the next step is to give each of these notes a number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. From there, the only things we need to do to work out the chord are to join some individual notes together. Notes 1, 3, and 5 will get us a major chord, and notes 1, flat 3, and 5 will get us a minor chord. And we know the difference between a major and a minor if the chord is an individual letter. So if it was just C on its own, it just means it's C major. And if it's a C with a lowercase m after it, we know it's C minor. So as you can see, you don't actually need to know specifically every single note for every single chord. You just need to work out the formulas. Step 1, tones and semitones. Step 2, 1, 3, 5 for major, 1 flat 3, 5 for minor. So if we move on and apply that to our chords, which were D minor, F, C, and G, I've got in front of me. The D minor scale, I know for a fact, is D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. And I hope I said that's the major scale, not the minor, because that is the major. To make the minor chord, all we have to do is do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and take notes 1, 3, and 5. And that should get us, oh, and flatten that third, D, F, and A, because a flattened F sharp becomes an F. That is our D minor chord. Next up, we've got the F chord. And if I just whiz through this, using tones and semitones again, all we need is 1, 3 and 5, and we've got our major chord. Because of course, as it doesn't have an M or anything like that in front of it, it's just a major. F major, F, A and C, 1, 3 and 5. And we've got the same thing for C and G. So that's C, E and G for our C major chord, and G, B and D for our G major chord. So suddenly you can see how you can take some individual notes, individual letters from a piece of music and create multiple patterns and multiple chords from them. Now, the question is, how do you apply them? Well, you've got a couple of options, but let me just show you what the piece sounds like without the chords. Sounds okay? First option then is to put the chords in the left hand and strike out what the left hand already plays. Sounds pretty nice, and I just played some inversions where I swapped the note order in the left hand, in case you wondered why I wasn't doing too many jumps. Sounds nice, but it doesn't have the same pace that the original piece had. The next stage, only if you're entirely confident with what those chords already are, is to put it with the right hand melody at the same time. And to do that, you have to think about the chord at the bottom half of your hand and the melody at the top half. I'm going to be talking about this in later videos, so stay subscribed because this is going to get good. Now, can you see the purpose of why chords may exist? To start to colour the pieces, to embellish on something that starts quite simple and make it sound quite refined. There's so many options with chords and so much potential, but you need to analyse and you need to understand what major scales are and the formula behind them before you even dive into the world of chords. And then once you're in that world, well, you're laughing. So I'm going to leave it there for today. Don't forget, you can download the music in the description, give it a go yourself, see if you can work out those chords and just apply them in the left hand. Remember tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone to get your major scale, 1, 3, 5 to work out a major chord, and 1 flat 3, 5 to work out a minor. Right, I will see you in the next video. Keep practicing, stay motivated, and have a good one.